Hey YouTubers, this is the Fishing Educator today. Hopefully everyone's doing great out there. It is springtime, and I know some of you may be in the market to buy a used boat, or a new boat for that matter, but there's a lot of great used boats out there. So what I want to do real quickly is just kind of take you through my boat. I've had my boat for about 10 years now, actually 13 years. Time flies when you're having fun. And I found my boat on eBay and went to Hilton Head, South Carolina. It's about a 6-hour drive, but it was worth every penny. So if you're out looking for boats, I want to kind of give you just what to kind of look for when you're buying a boat. There's lots of choices out there. First of all, you need to think about the type of fishing you want to do. If it's the trolling thing that you want to do like I do, that's something new here in the South. Not a lot of people are used to that, maybe intimidated by it. That's fine. If it's a bass boat, if it's a john boat, whatever the case may be, center console boat. Here's just a couple of tips that you can look for. The first thing to kind of look for is the motor and the engine. I'll show you the engine here in just a second, but it's an issue of how many hours has the engine been used. You know, a lot of guys buy boats and they don't end up doing a lot of fishing. Other guys buy boats and do a lot of fishing. You want to know how many hours are on that boat. So sometimes that's gauged by just how old it is. So the second thing is the year of the boat. You know, if you're looking at an 80s model, that's really, in my opinion, that's old. But not necessarily, just depending on how it's been used, how it's been taken care of. So look for those things. The other thing is, you know, was it stored inside or outside? My boat has been stored in a garage. When I bought it, it was only a few years old. It was a retired educator couple, so they were teachers and they thought they would do a lot of fishing and ended up not doing hardly anything. But they kept it in storage. I actually went to pick up the boat and they actually brought the cranes in and actually lowered the boat off of the racks inside of this huge storage place. And of course my Honda engine that I have, it was like brand new, and I got it for $5,500. So this is probably a $15,000 to $20,000 boat that I got for $5,500, and I could honestly say that if I turned around and sold this thing today, or sold it and sell it, I could get probably the same amount. It's been that type of a deal. I had a buddy of mine who just went and bought himself a brand new Honda 20 horsepower that he found on Craigslist and got it for $1,500, and he was about ready to spend $1,200 on an Evinrude, a 1983 Evinrude 20 horsepower. So you got to look out there, be willing to travel a little bit too, be willing to get on the road. I've seen some great deals up in Michigan, Wisconsin. I know that's a little bit further of a drive, but if you're going to save $3,000 to $4,000, why not? One of the things I love about my boat is it's paid for. So those of you that are paying payments, not a knock on you, but it's one of those things where having a boat that's affordable is a good thing. So again, look if it's been stored inside or outside. The other thing is, real quick, I just want to show you around the boat here, is the accessories. You know, yeah, it's about the boat, it's about the size, what type of fishing you're trying to do, but I bought this fish locator, but it actually came with a fish locator. So look for fish locators. Find out what kind of fish locator is already coming with the boat. The other thing is, this one is actually Coast Guard certified. It has 2 fire extinguishers in it, which has been great. I actually have mounted an iPhone adapter as well, so that's good. If you look over here on the side, you will see my Minn Kota trolling motor. Now, I've added this, but it came with a trolling motor. So, you know, trolling motors are not cheap. So if you get a boat and it comes with a trolling motor, that's even greater. So this boat also came with rod holders. You'll see my rod holders right here. Here's one of those rod holders, which has been great. It came with other rod holders, and so I ended up over the years, over 13, 14 years, swapping stuff out. Came with 2 batteries already. You know, batteries $100. So look for those things to where, you know, the boat is going to be worth a little more just because of the accessories you have. This thing does come with a marine radio. It's Coast Guard certified, so I've got an antenna. I can take this on the Great Lakes. I can take it in the ocean. It is a Honda engine. So look for those things that are coming that are free. The other thing was life jackets. This came with 6 life jackets, and came with all kinds of things. I've seen boats for sale with fishing rods and downriggers and planer boards where somebody's just trying to get rid of it. So look for those things. All right, so let's look now at the outside of the boat. We're kind of in the inside. Let me show you, first of all, of course, always look at the engine. You know, what kind of engine do you want? I'm the type of guy who, you know, wants the 4-stroke versus the 2-stroke. This thing sips gas. I have a 20-gallon tank in this thing. I can go 7 miles to the gallon wide open when I'm running at about 5,500 RPMs. Now, driving, that's not a lot, but on water, that is a tremendous amount of length to go with 7 miles on a gallon. I control all day with this thing. So this thing literally pays for itself, these Honda engines. Yamaha engines are another great one. And I don't know about Mercury and Evinrude, and some of you may comment and say, oh, I love mine. I love mine too. I have over 1,000 hours on this thing, maybe even 2,000 hours. I do have over 7,000 miles that I have logged on this engine. It's 20 years old. It's another video I put out. You can check out just 20-year review on this. But the 4-stroke engine, I've got a 40 horse with my 16-foot boat. I can go about 30 miles an hour, which is plenty for me. The other thing you want to check is just pop the lid on these engines. You're going to be amazed at this engine right here. This is 20 years old, and it looks brand new on the inside. What you want to look for is look for the tubes, see if there's any cracking that's going on, if there's wires. You can check certainly for that. What I like to do too is I like to check the oil. And what I'm looking for when I check the oil is to see if it's clear and I can see through on the dipstick itself. So I will take that oil out, the actual dipstick. That's where the oil goes. And down here you can see through the X's on here. Oil that is not will be black, and you can just tell whether it's been changed. And so that's kind of what you're looking for on the oil, is can you see letters through here? In this case, is it just clear? And this is actually pretty new oil, but you can see right through that. If it's not been changed in a long time, it'll be black and you won't be able to see anything. So check for little things like that, and just look for wear and tear. But check that engine. Check the engine out. Alright, and then what I want to check too is I also want to check to see if there's any oil residue from the lower unit that's coming out. I'm going to check the prop, make sure the prop's not chewed up too bad. You'll see I have some paint missing down here. Nothing that's ever been cracked. That's just because when I fish, oftentimes I'm camping and I will actually have my boat parked in some shallow water. It's just 20 years old of good use. But look for that. I mean, you might have a crack that's in there or something that's leaking. So definitely check that lower unit. Find out when it was changed last. If you can get to the owner and say, when was oil changed? When was lower unit changed? When was the water pump? Check that water pump. If you can run this engine, certainly do that. In fact, make that a priority to run the engine, to make sure that it fits in a bucket of water, whatever the case may be. Make sure that your water pump is pissing good, as I like to call it. Make sure that you got a good stream coming out there, or find out when it was changed last. And if it's been a while, I store mine inside. Every 3 years I change mine. You can do whatever you want. If it's outside, every year or two. You don't want to have your water pump go out. It'll destroy everything. So look for that. All right, the last thing is just to check the trailer. Check the bunker guides. This is actually a galvanized trailer, so there's no rust, but if it wasn't, check for rust. Check the bunker guides. I've replaced the carpet once on here, probably going to do that this summer again, but just kind of check along and look at the trailer. See if the trailer's in good shape or not. Things that you want to look for. Ask about the bearings. I have my bearings changed every couple years by a professional, and I get quality parts in there. I travel all over the country with this boat, so check the bearings. You want to make sure that those are greased up. Find out when they were changed last. If it's been a while, they need to be done. Last thing you want to be doing is out on the road and break down with a trailer. It is the worst feeling. It's happened to me once. Not fun. Don't recommend it. Don't play around. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. And then the last thing is just check over the hull. This is an aluminum boat. Look for holes. I actually have a couple of holes. I did fill those up with some stuff that we put on there, which was great. But again, check for holes. Check for holes along here. See what you got. See if it's holding water. The last thing is check and see if there's water down in here. In the belly, you can open that up and look down and see if there's water. Overall, look for a good deal. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel great about it. And anyway, this is just kind of a walkthrough of my boat, my 1998 Starcraft Starfire 16-foot aluminum. It's been a great boat. This one weighs about 1,800 pounds. I pull it with my Honda Pilot, and it's done great. It's done great. So, hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps. Be sure to subscribe and comment. Always looking for new subscribers. If you like content like this, we're going to be putting some more stuff out. I do have a giveaway coming out in just a couple of weeks where I'm going to be giving away some trolling rods and reel combos. And those will be only to the next 300 subscribers that I have coming. So if you're one of those 300, you do have an opportunity to win. So thanks for watching and have a great day.